Thank you very much. Thank you. To start out, I would like to show you some magic using just a piece of rope. Now, like most pieces of rope, this one has two ends and one middle. Now, suppose for a moment I had two pieces of rope. How many ends would I have? 4. Very good. And if I had 3 ropes, how many ends would I have?
6.
Excellent. Now, suppose for a moment I had a rope and a half. How many ends would I have?
3.
Exactly. I would have 3 ends, just like this. There's 1, 2, 3 ends. Now, as long as we're defying the laws of nature to have a 3-ended rope, we might as well not stop there. We can have a 4-ended rope. Something is obviously not quite right here, because if we do have a 4-ended rope, there really should be 2 ends here and 2 ends down there. We can fix that by just sliding these 2 ends right down where they belong. It's like that, leaving us with 2 ends here, 2 ends here. Something's still not quite right, though, because if there are 2 ends here, there really should be 2 ropes. And in fact, there are 2 ropes. I'm going to tie each one into a knot. Here's number 1 and rope number 2. Now, a funny thing happens if you use your imagination just a little bit. These 2 loops seem to almost melt together into one giant loop of rope. Doing that is actually pretty simple. To do that, all you have to do is learn to make a knot disappear. So here we have a knot, and now it is not. Once you learn to make knots disappear, it's a pretty simple matter to figure out how to make one reappear. Bringing us back to our one big loop of rope. You seem to be having a little bit of difficulty following this. I can try to make it a little bit easier for you. Instead of doing magic with the whole rope, I'll do magic with just the ends. In fact, we'll start with just this end right here. One end travels with them. Okay, you liked it, the rest not so much. That's okay. I'll give you a second chance. Here's end number 2. Bringing us back to our 2 ends and 1 middle. I can make it a little bit easier for you. I found the ends are a little bit easier to keep track of if I tie them together. See, with the ends tied together, they can still travel, but they have to travel together and a little bit more slowly. In fact, I don't have to use the ends at all. I also can do magic using just the middle of the rope. So we'll tuck the ends away right here. Now with the ends safely tucked away, it's obviously impossible for me to take this rope and tie it in a knot. And once I have a knot, as long as the ends are over here, it's equally impossible for me to take this knot and untie it. Now, a funny thing happens when the knot disappears. Actually, the ends of the rope disappear with it, leaving us with one endless piece of rope. So where are the ends? Well, they're obviously right here in my pocket. So here I have a rope without ends and ends without a rope. This is not a natural condition for a rope to be in. But I found if you just lay the ends over the rope, things look pretty much normal. And with a little imagination, things actually become completely normal. As long as I'm showing you rope magic, I'm actually required by Magician's Code to show you the famous cut and restored rope trick. I'm sure you've seen that one before. That's the one where the magician takes the rope, cuts it right in half, and then tries to put the rope back together. Now, magicians try to make it look very difficult to put a rope back together, but it's actually pretty simple. I found if you just tug on one of the ropes, it'll get longer, and the other rope gets shorter. And you can see at this point we're almost restored because we have one long rope and one short rope. All that remains is to push the short rope back into the long one. And I'll do that for you very slowly. Until we're left with nothing but just a knot. All that remains is to untie the knot, and we're back to our one big piece of rope. Of course, I didn't start out doing magic with ropes. I actually started out when I was a kid doing magic with my shoelaces. Now, I'd like to let you get a little bit closer look at this. So would you mind helping me out? All right, what are your names?
Adam.
Adam and?
I'm Laura.
Adam and Laura. Now, when I was a kid, I had a problem with my shoelaces. Many times, this may have happened to you as well, one of the ends would get pulled through the loop. And on a really bad day, both ends might get pulled through. And of course, you know what happens then. You get the world's worst knot. Which is why when I was a kid, I slept in my shoes a lot. Eventually, I learned I could use some magic. I found that with magic, I could take the knot and actually move it, which was kind of cool, but didn't really help. Until eventually I figured out I could take the knot, slide it all the way off the end, and it would completely disappear. Eventually I learned to do other types of magic knots. This one right here is what we call a fisherman's knot. Now I know this looks like just an ordinary knot, but you can see the knot is empty. It's a fisherman's knot because if we're lucky, it goes in empty. And we'll catch them. See that? Now you can see the ring really is on the string. In fact, I'd like you to keep your eyes on the ends, make sure I don't do anything sneaky there.
Okay.
And you keep your eye on the ring. In fact, go ahead, grab the ring, just give it a tug. It pops right off. Go ahead and take a look at the ring, make sure it's an ordinary ring. And actually, you can take a look at the shoelace. I know it's exciting for you. All right, is that just an ordinary ring?
Looks like it.
And just an ordinary ring? Did you find the hole in the ring?
Yep, there
Yeah,
it is.
Very good. Yeah, it's the hole in the ring. Actually, I can do this with any ring. Do one of you have a ring?
No, I don't.
All right.
No.
Okay. Should have known. That's all right. That's all right. We can. I'll show you this one more time. String goes through the ring. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Now, suppose instead of putting only one of the ends in, I were to put both ends of the string through the ring, then obviously, when I pull it through, what's going to happen?
It's gonna fall off.
Exactly, it'll jump right onto the string just like that. Now, many people believe it's possible to just pull the ring off the string, but really it's not. Go ahead, give it a tug, see if it'll come off. You can give it a tug, pull really hard. See, no matter how much you pull, it's not going to come off. But if you give it just a little twist, and it pops right off just like that. And once it's off, you can just toss it right back on, just like that. Now, I'm going to do this one more time under magician-proof circumstances. Now, the ring really is on the string, right? I'm going to place the ring and the string into my hand. And finally, I'm going to actually tie the string around my hand. So if you'll hold on to the ends there, perfect. And we'll see if the ring can escape. There, the ring escapes not only from the string, but also from my hand. It's completely disappeared. Sorry, it's coming out down there. Actually, would you like to get a look at that? Oh, sorry. You can get a look at that, make sure it's an ordinary ring. And actually, you can hang on to the shoelace for now. It's a souvenir.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy it. Well, right now, I would like to do something magicians don't usually do. I would like to teach you a trick that you can do. First, I'm going to show you how it looks, and I'm going to actually teach you how you can do it. I'm going to need somebody to give me a hand with this one. Let's see. How about, will you give me a hand?
Sure.
Sure. All right, what's your name?
Laura.
Laura. Everybody give Laura a big round of applause. Laura, come with me. Laura, come all the way up here.
Okay.
Now, we're going to do a card trick. Now, I know most card tricks are pretty lame, but not this one. No, because this time, we're going to find your card using fire and an explosion. Yeah, actually it's just a lighter and a popping balloon, but it's the best I can do. Now, like most card tricks, this one starts out with you choosing a card.
Okay.
As I riffle through the cards, just say stop at any time. Okay, just say stop.
Stop.
All right, here we go. A little sooner.
Stop.
Right here.
Yep.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Want me to keep going or
No,
start
that's
over?
good.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, there's your card. Look at it and remember it. In fact, show the whole audience, but don't let me see it. All right, put the card right back on top there, and I'll shuffle the deck. Now this is where we get to the fire. You're going to be keeper of the flame, so you'll hold on to that, and I will get the balloon. All right, go ahead and light it up. Poof. Just like that. Is that your card?
Yep.
Everybody give Laura a big round of applause. Thank you so much. You can head back to your seat. Now, I told you I was going to show you how to do this, and I am. First, you have someone select a card. You happen to choose the 3 of hearts. Next, it's put back on the deck, and I pretend to shuffle the cards. Now, if you look closely, your card's right there. I'm just holding on to it, so no matter how much I shuffle, your card's going to stay right there on top. Then I do what magicians call palming a card. When I'm pretending to square up the deck, I'm really secretly putting your card in my hand. Then all I have to do, hold on to the balloon. When the balloon pops, there's the card, and you have an impromptu miracle you can do at any party. If your party has black balloons. Maybe your parties are more festive than mine. That's okay. You actually can still do it with any balloon. In fact, to prove it, I'm going to show you using a clear balloon. The key is, hold the balloon like this. Don't do this. As long as you keep the back of your hand to the audience, you're fine. Now, if somebody does happen to see the card, there's actually still a way for you to get out of it. Because I found you can use the heat from your hand to open up the pores in the latex, just enough that the card can begin to melt through the balloon. It's almost through. We need just a little bit more heat. Then all you have to do is catch the card and you take your well-deserved applause. Thank you. I wanted to take a break from the live performance for just a moment to try something different. You see, I believe magic is best experienced live, so I would like to make some magic happen right now on your side of the television screen. Now, to do this, you're going to need to get some coins. You need 4 coins, a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. Get those now. I'd like you to place the coins in front of you in a row, starting with the smallest coin, the dime, then the next largest penny, nickel, and finally the largest coin, the quarter. I need you to choose one of the coins and place your finger on it. You have a completely free choice of any coin you like. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to make a series of moves. A move consists of moving your finger 1 coin to the left or the right of the coin you're on. You're going to do this as you spell the name of your coin. So if you were on the nickel, for instance, you could go N-I-C-K-E-L. You have to move once for each letter, and you can't go past the end of the row. All right, make those moves now, spelling the name of the coin that you are on. All right, you should be done with your moves. You may be on a different coin, you may be on the same coin. Now, I don't know where you started or how you moved, but I sense that you're not on the quarter. So with your free hand, take the quarter and just push it aside. I'm going to ask you to make one more move, just 1 coin to the left or the right as you're able. Do that now. Now, I don't know how you started and I don't know how you moved, but I sense you're on a different coin. Not a silver one, but copper. I believe you chose the penny. Thank you very much. Right now, I'd like to share something just a little bit more personal with you. It's not that personal, don't worry. See, when I was a kid, I was in church all the time. I've been going to church all my life. Even though I knew a lot about God, I didn't really know God. And in fact, I was still living my life my way instead of God's way. The Bible calls this sin. You see, I wasn't doing anything really wrong by human standards, but I wasn't always completely honest, or I might take something that didn't belong to me, or be disrespectful to my parents. These are the kinds of things that the Bible refers to as sin. So even though I wasn't that bad, I was destroying my life. Finally, I decided it wasn't enough to just know about God. It wasn't enough just to go to church. But I wanted to have a real relationship with God. So I took the broken pieces of my life and gave them to Him. And He took my life and put the pieces back together again. I've had the opportunity to share this message of Jesus across the country and sometimes even around the world. I've been to places like India and the Philippines. I've been to Central America, going to every place from schools to prisons to leper colonies and even garbage dumps, letting people know that God cares about them. I'd like to share with you a little bit of home video to give you an idea about what these trips were really like. And of course, if you put your hand here, it looks like 6.
और यहाँ दिखता है कि यहाँ 6 होगा, थैली में 5 सांप दिखते हैं। Give this one to him.
Many times when I travel to places like India and the Philippines, the kids there will ask me what snow is like, because the kids there have never seen snow even once in their life. Now, do you like snow? Yes. Yeah, well, so do I, within certain limits. But I think snow is very beautiful. Think what it would be like to be a kid growing up and never once seeing snow ever in your life. So I decided I had to find a way to bring the gift of snow to India. Now, have you ever tried to carry snow on an airplane? Well, believe me, it's tough. But I worked at it, and I finally came up with the gift of snow. Let me show you what I put together. Here's what I did for the kids in India. Snow! It's snow. Okay, yeah, that's about the same reaction I got there. So I decided I had to get a little bit more creative. So I had to do the best I could using just a paper napkin. So on my last trip to India, here's what I did to show the kids what snow was like. Snow! Snow! It's, wait, I can do it in Telugu. It's an Indian language, much more impressive. Manchu! Yeah, they really didn't get it either until I opened it up and they started to figure out that I was talking about snow. But of course, this isn't real snow. Real snow is much smaller. And real snow is made mostly Water.